All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to learn a whole new language. Nope, it's not French or Spanish. It's the language spoken by doctors, physical therapists, and fitness coaches all over the world. It's the language of anatomy. And stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to have your very own GPS for the human body.
You know that feeling, right? You're at the doctor's office and they mention something about your anterior whatever, or maybe a trainer talks about avoiding valgus collapse, and you're just nodding along feeling completely lost. It's like you need a secret decoder ring just to understand what's going on with your own body.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to fix today. Think of all this anatomical lingo not as some boring, complicated subject, but as a seriously powerful navigation system. A universal GPS that lets anyone, anywhere in the world, talk about the exact same spot or the exact same movement without any confusion. So why is having a universal language so crucial? Well, imagine the chaos without it. My left could be different from your left. Up could mean towards my head or just up in the air. We absolutely need a standard set of rules that works for everybody, every single time. You see, the core idea is actually super simple. To get rid of all that confusion, we just have to agree on the rules of the game. And the number one most important rule in all of anatomy is agreeing on a standard starting position. Every great journey needs a starting point, right? For our body's GPS, that starting point has a name, the anatomical position. Honestly, this one concept is the foundation for literally everything else we're about to talk about. The anatomical position is our universal home base. Think of it like this. It doesn't matter if a patient is lying on an operating table or an athlete is mid-jump. Every single description we use always refers back to this one standard pose. It's our constant reference point. And the position itself? It couldn't be simpler. You're just standing up straight, looking forward, with your arms chilling at your sides. Now, here's the one tiny detail people always seem to forget. Your palms have to be facing forwards. That's it. That's the whole pose. It's just like when you hit that recenter button on your map app. Putting the body in the anatomical position is how we set a clear, totally ambiguous starting point. From here on out, every direction, every location is described relative to this stance. Okay, so we've got our home base. Now we need the map itself. And the way anatomists created this map is kind of cool. They imagined the body being sliced by these invisible panes of glass, which they call planes. These planes are basically the grid lines on our map. It might sound a little weird, but there are really only 3 main planes you need to know. And trust me, they're pretty intuitive once you get the visual. The sagittal, the coronal, and the transverse planes. First up is the sagittal plane. Just picture a sheet of glass dropping straight down right through the middle of your body, splitting you into a perfect left half and a right half. Any forward and backward movements, like walking or doing a bicep curl, they all happen in this plane. Next, we have the coronal plane. This is another vertical slice, but this time it divides the body into a front half and a back half. Imagine you're doing a perfect snow angel or standing with your back flat against a wall. All those side-to-side movements, like jumping jacks, happen in the coronal plane. And finally, there's the transverse plane. This one's easy. It's horizontal, like a tabletop cutting right through your waist, dividing your body into an upper part and a lower part. Any kind of twisting or rotational movement, like turning your head to say no or swinging a baseball bat, happens here. Okay, we've got our starting position, we've got our map. Now it's time to actually learn the language of navigation. These are the specific words for location and movement that make our body's GPS so incredibly precise. Let's start with a really simple pair, front and back. The term anterior just means towards the front of the body, so your belly button is on your anterior side. And posterior means towards the back of the body. Easy enough, right? Your spine is posterior. Now let's talk about directions relative to the center of your body. Remember that midline from the sagittal plane, the one that splits you in half? Well, anything closer to that line is called medial, and anything further away from that line is called lateral. So your nose is medial to your ears. Okay, quick pop quiz. When you're in that anatomical position with your palms facing forward, is your little finger medial or lateral compared to your index finger? Think about it. It's closer to your body's midline, right? So it's medial. See, you're already speaking the language. All right, what about movements? When you bend a joint, like you're doing a bicep curl, and you bend your elbow, you're making the angle at that joint smaller. That's called flexion. Then, when you straighten your arm back out, you're increasing the angle. That's extension. Simple as that. Bend and straighten.
And what about those side-to-side movements in the coronal plane? Well, when you move a limb away from your body's midline, that's abduction. A good way to remember it is to think of a child being abducted or taken away. And when you bring that limb back toward the midline, that's adduction. You are adding it back to the body.
So let's just take a second and put all these pieces together. With just a few key ideas, a starting point, a map, and some directions, we've basically built a complete GPS for the human body, one that lets us talk about it with amazing precision. What we've really done here is give you the 3 things every GPS needs. We've got a fixed starting point, that's the anatomical position. We've got a map with clear grid lines, those are our 3 planes. And we have a language for direction and movement, with words like medial, lateral, and flexion. The whole package. And look, this isn't just some academic exercise. This stuff is genuinely practical. Now you can actually understand what your doctor or physical therapist is talking about. You can analyze your own workout form and ask, wait, is my knee moving too medially? You can read a health article and not get lost. You've built the foundation.
You are officially the navigator of your own body. You've got the tools to understand its structure, its function, on a whole new level. So, the only question left is, now that you have the map, where are you going to explore first?